Soft, melancholic piano music begins, subtly distorted with static. A gentle, breathy voice begins to speak, laced with a lingering sadness. Honestly, it feels almost indecent to speak of it, to dissect the wreckage of a hope, a fleeting expectation. It's like rifling through someone's grandmother's letters, exposing the delicate vulnerability within. But darling, some wounds demand to be aired, lest they fester and poison everything. And Sherwood Suites Saigon, oh, it was a wound disguised as a promise. A gilded cage, really. You see, I possess shall we say, a refined sensibility. It's not arrogance, truly. It's merely the consequence of being raised with an understanding that certain standards exist. My barber, he always said, a chipped teacup diminishes the entire tea party. It sounds silly, doesn't it? But it's about respecting the essence of things, the delicate balance of beauty and functionality. And Sherwood Suites, well, it shattered every teacup in the parlor. It started predictably with a pretense of luxury. The photos online so artfully arranged, the sky pool shimmering like a forgotten dream. They called it 5-star. 5-star, honestly, the audacity. It's like calling instant coffee vintage Bordeaux. A blatant disregard for truth, wouldn't you agree? I've stayed in hostels with more integrity. I arrived, of course, after a rather grueling flight. I was exhausted, clutching a well-worn copy of Nabokov, desperate for a sanctuary. The lobby, it smelled faintly of disinfectant and disappointment. And the reception, oh my dears, the sheer lack of warmth, stiff backs, vacant stares, like automatons programmed to process transactions, not greet human beings. It's a subtle cruelty, isn't it, to deny someone a simple acknowledgement, a flicker of human connection. I felt unseen, invisible, like a ghost wandering through a rather sterile afterlife. They demanded a security deposit. 1 million Vietnamese dong, that's approximately 40 USD, a princely sum considering the potential for disaster loomed. Now, deposits are understandable, of course. It's a safeguard against mischief, a practical precaution. But the way it was presented, it felt like an accusation, like they already presumed I was a vandal, a rogue element intent on wreaking havoc on their pristine, establishment. It's a peculiar tactic, don't you think? To establish distrust before any interaction has even begun. The room itself, a studio, they called it. It was compact, too many things crammed into a space that desperately needed breathing room. Furniture that felt chosen not for comfort, but for cost-effectiveness. A desperate attempt to manufacture luxury through sheer density. It reminded me of my aunt's apartment back in Minsk, everything jammed together, a visual cacophony. It stifled the soul, darling, it truly did, but the real horror, the truly appalling breach of trust, occurred later. I had arranged for a companion to join me, a friend, a perfectly lovely, perfectly respectful person. We arrived after 10 p.m., and the receptionist, oh, the icy disdain, she informed me with a chilling lack of empathy that my friend could not be registered, that I would have to pay for another room at double the cost. Can you believe the sheer gall, the utter lack of basic human decency? My room was advertised as accommodating 2 people. 2, it wasn't a question of space, it was a question of pure, unadulterated greed. They saw an opportunity to exploit my exhaustion, my vulnerability. It felt predatory, like being cornered in a dark alley. I've traveled extensively, darling. I've stayed in establishments ranging from charmingly rustic to breathtakingly opulent, and I have never encountered such blatant dishonesty. It wasn't just the money, it was the principle. The feeling of being taken advantage of being treated as a walking ATM. A slight tremor enters the voice, but that sadly was merely the opening act of this TR.
Tragic farce. The following days they were a descent into a slow-burning nightmare. I met others, you see, fellow travelers equally wounded by this enterprise. Rohit, a kind man from India, shared his story. They claimed he damaged something, a minor imperfection, easily overlooked, and deducted it from his...
The businesses surrounding Sherwood Suites Saigon, they're a peculiar landscape, aren't they? A mirage of potential, frequently dissolving into a rather disappointing reality. It's as if the area attracts a certain type of establishment, one that prioritizes presentation over substance, and frankly, leaves a rather bitter taste. It's a feeling, deep in my chest, like discovering a beautifully wrapped gift only to find it's filled with rocks. Let's dissect this, shall we? Because someone needs to warn the unsuspecting traveler. Let's start with establishments that attempt to exude sophistication. These places, generally speaking, tend to be hollow. Take Takashimaya, for example. It attempts to be a grand department store, but the reports paint a different picture. It seems customer service is a concept lost in translation. People recount being actively ignored while shopping for shoes, dismissed with a rude wave of the hand. Imagine that you're trying to spend your money and they make you feel like a bother. And the returns, forget about it. A piece of jewelry returned within 30 minutes is met with a stony refusal, a bureaucratic wall built out of indifference. A refund is a mythical creature here, apparently. Then there are the subtle offenses. The VAT refund, touted as a service, often turns out to be a waste of time and a genuine financial loss. It's a trap, a carefully laid snare for tourists. And the parking. A comedy of errors, demanding cash, offering conflicting information, and generally treating patrons as an inconvenience. It's like they want you to feel stressed. The parking attendants sound like they want you to walk miles. The staff simply doesn't care, that's all there is to it. It's not just the service. There's an underlying current of dishonesty. Reports mention discrepancies in pricing, hidden fees, and promotions that vanish the moment you reach the checkout. A sketched shoe promising a discount, conveniently disappearing upon payment. This isn't just bad business, it's almost predatory. You start to feel like every interaction is a negotiation, a careful dance to avoid being overcharged. And the most disturbing reports, the security concerns, a hidden menace lurking within the gleaming facade. A boy taking inappropriate photos in the ladies' room, a family displaying a shocking lack of remorse. That's not a shopping experience, that's a breach of trust, a violation. Moving on, there are places dedicated to well-being. La Maison de LApothiquaire Spa, for example. They attempt to portray an aura of tranquility, of rejuvenation. However, the accounts suggest the reality is far removed from that idyllic image. Staff training seems to be non-existent. Technicians lacking skills, treatments performed haphazardly. It appears a change in staff has decimated the quality of experience, and the persistent issue of theft, belongings disappearing during treatments. Imagine entrusting your valuables to a spa only to find money missing afterward. The staff are incompetent and the service is terrible. It makes my skin crawl. The language barrier complicates matters, of course. Some reviewers express frustration with unhelpful, even dismissive, responses from staff. It's a feeling of helplessness, of being stranded in a place where your needs simply aren't understood. The fact that some reviews are barely comprehensible, just fragments of frustration, speaks volumes. It's a quiet desperation, a plea for even basic courtesy. Then we have those who attempt to elevate dining to an art form. Signature plant-based fine dining. The presentation is beautiful, they say, but the flavor, a profound disappointment. It's like they've prioritized aesthetics over actual taste. Dishes are described as dry, bland, and lacking in substance. One particularly harrowing tale involves a diner falling into a hidden pond in the outdoor seating area, mocked by the staff. Mocked, the sheer audacity, and the portions.
Laughably small, especially considering the inflated prices. It's a culinary insult, a display of arrogance masked as artistry. They offer watermelon juice claiming it controls weight loss, which is absolutely irresponsible. And the service. Oh, the service. Slow, indifferent, and often inaccurate. Forgotten orders, incorrect dishes, and a general sense of apathy. The staff seem lost, adrift in a sea of indifference. It's a restaurant where you go to look at your food, not to enjoy it. It is genuinely disgusting. Now, let's consider the seemingly innocuous coffee shops. The coffee house Nguyen Thai Bin. It looks inviting. But beneath the surface, it's a minefield of hidden charges and substandard quality. A simple espresso, costing more than advertised, staff offering inconsistent explanations.
Oh, I was just looking into Sherwood Suites Saigon, like, what's around it, And, it is so sad some places there, they trick people. Like tourists come for 2 weeks, happy, excited, and then boom, scammed. So businesses near Sherwood Suites Saigon, some of them, they look so nice, so professional, but inside, lies. Like this one ARTEXVINA. They had this big office in District 1, right? Super fancy, like, oh, invest with us, we ray legit. But no, they tricked thousands of people. Over 200 million gone. Poof. How? Oh, it is so mean. They let people win a little at first, Like here, take your money back, see? We ray good. And then oh no, they pressure them, put more in, ULL get rich. And then nothing, just gone. The police finally stopped them, but how many people lost everything first? I bet some tourists too. Like, they see this investment opportunity and think, why not? And then no money left for their trip. And the worst part? The scammers. They just disappeared. Some got arrested, but the money, probably gone forever. And the victims, they probably went home crying, you know? Like, I just wanted a nice vacation, It's just why do people do this? Near Sherwood Suites Saigon, there are so many nice places, but then these scams. It's like they want to ruin